this lesson, I'd like to have a look at the way in which you can set up email aliases for a user inside CRM. And you can see that I'm currently logged on to Sage CRM as the user Kylie Ward. And if I navigate to a contact, for example, I'll navigate to Clement Stickings and start to send Clement Stickings an email. We can see that as Kylie Ward, I have the option in my system to be able to select the email as either coming from Kylie Ward or from the support team. Of course, the support team as an email alias allows a larger group of people to work together and to give a constant and consistent message out from the customer's perspective. And we can also decide whether or not we want to have the replies coming back to a generalized support email address as well. So what we should do now to set this up is, if I cancel from this, I'm going to set up the equivalent for the user Susan May, and or rather all members of the sales team. So I'm going to go to the administration area, and you can see that I've already come into administration, email and documents, and then come down into email aliases. So let's go, that's where we were, and we've come down into email aliases. And you can see that there I've set up the support team. It's very easy to set up a new email address alias. Just click on the new option, new button, and we can then specify the sales email address that is going to be used. And I'm going to call this the sales team. And how do I want to use this? I can enable this as both a from address and a reply to address. Though obviously if you're using it as a reply to address, that email account has to be set up on your email server. And we can then limit the access to that particular address for either an individual team or an individual user, or we could have a group of teams being able to use the particular address. So here my two sales teams are going to be able to use this sales team address. So let's save this. And now as my user, switch across back into the user screens here, I'm going to log off as Kylie Ward and log back on as Susan May. So I've logged on as Susan May. If I navigate to look at a person, Simon Yaltoy, Susan May is in the sales team, and now when she sends an email, and set up to use the standard email response, we can then choose who that email is going to come from. So I'm going to use the sales team, and you can see that it's coming from the sales team, and I can also choose then who it should reply to as well. So that'll be back to the sales team as well. Just call this test email and send that. So I send the email, and from a recipient's perspective, if we switch over and start to look at the emails that have just been received, we can see here there's our test email that has just come in, and you'll notice that it's come from the sales team, where previously Susan May has been the sender of emails from CRM. We can see now, if we were to reply to that, it would go back to the sales team. Okay, so that's the way in which we can set up an email alias, and the user can decide that that alias is the one that they want to use all the time by going into my CRM and looking at preferences, and changing their preferences so that their default email address is now listed as sales team. And that means that if they come to any user and any customer or contact and send the email, it'll be marked automatically as coming from the sales team. So I select my email, and you can see that the email address that it started to come from is the sales team. That then is the way in which we can set up and control email aliases within Sage CRM.